everyone, welcome back to Crafting at Whimsy Wonderland. My name is Stacy. Today I'm going to show you how to make these little cone-shaped Christmas trees. To buy one in the store, they're like $25, but this one only cost me about $3. I've been seeing a lot of these cone Christmas trees covered in fabric around at the decor places here in Utah. And I've really liked them, but they're like $15, $16, up to $25 I've seen them. So I thought, I bet I could make it myself for a lot less. So I went in search of something large that was cone-shaped, and I found this birthday hat at the Dollar Tree. It's, I don't know, it's good and tall. And what I did is I just took off the like tinsel edging that it had, and I took it apart so that I could lay it flat. And I wanted the cone to be bigger and taller than this, so I laid it out on some of the white poster board from the Dollar Tree, and I just enlarged it as I went around. And then I traced it, I cut it out, and I've got a couple of different sizes I'm going to work on. And then I practiced rolling it just to make sure, and I ended up cutting part of it a little bit skinnier, so it's going to be, you just kind of have to mess with it a little bit after you get the pattern cut out. So anyway, I have this so that it will be a tree about this tall, which is about, let's measure. I didn't measure. I should have measured before I came on. So anyway, this tree ends up being about 18 inches tall. Okay, so the first step I'm going to do after cutting out the pattern is I have a yard of fabric from Hobby Lobby. It was on sale, 40% off, so I think this yard cost me about $3. Okay, so $3, $1 for the poster board. Sounds a lot better to me than $25. So I'm going to, I can do this two ways. I can do it to where I save as much fabric as possible and just do it right on the edge, which is probably what I will do, and it'll make the plaid kind of spiral around. Or you can try to make your stripes go straight up and down the tree, but that sounds a little bit harder to me. So what I need to do is cover this with Mod Podge and then put the fabric on it. I was going to use the Dollar Tree scarves, but I could only get 2 of the red infinity scarves that were fleece, and whoa, that was a little bit, I didn't know if 2 would be enough, and so I just decided to get fabric. Anyway, I'm going to be very liberal with this, just not as liberal as I spilled it just a second ago. I want it to be liberal enough to where it's going to soak into the fabric, because I can't lay the fabric out and put another coat of Mod Podge on it before sticking it together. So I'm just going to go ahead and slather this piece of poster board with the Mod Podge. I'm going to do it in the way that I think it will save the most fabric, and I'm just going to lay it over the edge and over the edge. Now I'm just kind of trying to use this white line on the fabric as a guide. I'm not looking for perfection, because perfection doesn't exist. And I'm just trying to get it flat. So I'm just going to kind of pull it, stretch it, push it down. I guess I don't really care too much if it's going to be straight, because it's going to be rolled into a cone. I don't know. We'll find out. If I ruin it, it's what? A yard of fabric. It's not the end of the world. Okay. Now that I have that pressed on, I am going to grab my scissors and trim this down, the fabric down. I'm going to leave an edge because I want there to be room to wrap over the edge so you don't see any of the poster board. I think I can probably get 2 of these trees out of this yard, maybe even more. I want to do different sizes, and I want to have several different fabrics. I bought, I think, 4, maybe 5 different fabrics that kind of can coordinate together. Okay, so this will make it easier to work with. So now I've got my triangle, and it's pretty stuck down already. That's kind of cool. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of, I broke down and bought a big bottle of Mod Podge a while back, and that's what I'm using. This is matte finish. You can use gloss, you can use whatever works for you. I don't like things too shiny, but Christmas is the time for shiny. If you want to do shiny, go for it. So I'm just going to coat this good with Mod Podge. This is flannel, so it's got a little bit of a fuzziness to it, but that's just kind of helping to hold in the Mod Podge, in my opinion. Now I'm going to let this Mod Podge dry for several hours till it's completely dry. Then I need to flip it over and Mod Podge down around the edges so that it has a nice sharp finished edge. But can't do that until this side is dry. So we will be back when that happens. Okay, so my Mod Podge fabric is all dry. It's not straight, but I think once I roll it into a cone, it's not going to matter. You're not going to see the connection of all the lines and not going to be able to tell. So I went ahead and took my scissors and cut. I left about 1 inch along the bottom and about 1/2 inch up the sides. And now I'm just going to take my glue gun and I'm going to run a little bead. I'm not doing the whole thing all at once. Because if you sew it all, you know that you have to angle and notch and all that to get corners and curves to come out straight. So I'm just gonna run some glue and get this little hem turned up so that I have a finished edge all the way around on my tree. So now I have a rounded triangle of fabric. What I'm thinking about using for the fur trim along the bottom is one of these super soft microfiber cloths from the Dollar Tree. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the short side and I'm going to fold it in half, or not in half, but I'm going to fold it to about the width that I want my fur on the bottom. And then I'm going to just put my hand on top and cut on the fold. I'm not going for exactness here. This is about 2 inches. And then I'm just cutting along the other edge. I have another project I want that finished edge for. That's why I was trying to save some of it. So if you had cut with the finished edge all the way up, that would actually be nicer. So maybe I will just sacrifice this and go to the other short side so that I can have the finished edge along the whole thing. So now I have 2 that have a finished edge, which is really cool because then I can just have that edge being all nice and pretty. I am going to trim this finished edge off this end though, and this one off of this. Well, I think I'll leave it on one side. Alright. Need a little bit of hot glue to hold these 2 pieces together. Measures just about 2 1/4. So I'm going to go with I'm going to mark this at 1 3/4. And then I'm going to let my edge hang over just a little. And I'm going to put a glue line from mark to mark. And then I'm just going to cover this running a line of glue underneath the fur. It's actually fleece, but it looks kind of like fur. Flipping it over, and I'm going to do my best to curve it up here. In hindsight, I wish I would have left more space. Now it's looking a little more finished. I've got fuzzies everywhere. Okay, so now what I need to do is I need to roll this into a cone. And hopefully you remember to test it before you put your fabric on so that you know that it works. Okay. The hardest part is getting the point nice, and mine is going to lean back a little bit. I don't know what I did, but it didn't seem to lean back before, but it seems to be leaning back now. Okay, so I'm trying to match up my fur trim on the bottom, and then I will have this cone in the front. So this is the side that goes under. So that's where I'm going to put my hot glue. And I'm going to go ahead and run a bead on the whole thing and hope and pray that I can do this fast enough. Don't use cool melt for this. I think you're going to need hot, high temp to keep it hot enough to work with long enough. If tacky glue was a more instant grab, I would totally be using that. Okay, so I've got my edges together, and now I need to just kind of go inside. Do not burn your fingers, guys. And press that together. And I'm going to run some more glue in here. And I'm going to press from the inside and the outside and get it to come together. Now, this is just poster board, so it's not the sturdiest. I am going ahead and pushing down on my desk. Looks like a giant gnome hat. We could do a giant gnome. All right. Now, I've got this little point. I hope you can see it. I'm trying to finesse into there. But these are going to be up on top of my cabinets, I think. So from a distance, they're going to be fine. And also, if you decide to put some decoration on these, you can also hide that little point if you didn't get it closed all the way. Okay, you could put a star on the top of your tree if you wanted. All right. Sorry for the poor camera angle. I'm still trying to figure out this new camera setup. But here is my Christmas tree cone. It kind of looks like a Santa hat or a gnome hat. But I think when I get like 3 different sizes grouped together in 3 different fabrics, it's going to be really cool looking. Alright, so if you like this project, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. And if you think you might be doing one of these for yourself, like I say, it only cost about $1, maybe $1.50 to make, and the one that I saw that was made out of a very similar fabric to this with fur on the bottom cost $25 at my home store locally. So for $3, I think this is a good $2 or $3. It's a good compromise. I might put some pine cones around it. I don't know if I'll glue anything to it, but I just kind of like the look of the tree. Okay, let me just kind of give you all the way around. I probably will put some more hot glue down on here to seal that down a little better. I see it's pulling away. Okay, so for a piece of poster board, less than a half a yard of fabric, and one of these cloths from the Dollar Tree, and I will have more cloths to use on my next ones. All right, so this has been Crafting in Whimsy Wonderland. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you next time.